like it was time to get myself a girlfriend. Didn't know what I should do, but Apple products seem to really get me. Might ask them a thing or two. Now I owe it all to the algorithmic genius introducing me to you. My girlfriend is a scream. She never makes a scene. Talk about feeling a connection, so much electricity.
She's a 10-80-10, confined to a screen, got a fine resolution and her smile is HD. Spend hours on the phone because I've had for time. I Mac on the scroll because I want her to be mine. She's light of my life, apple of my eye. Day is always better when I get some FaceTime. And in the midst of all this mysticalness, she would let me know if I missed a call. This relationship has been like a battle for me. I'm feeling sunk from the skin cause she's too deep. People think that I'm alone, like what's the matter with me? I'm talking on, I'm talking to the phone. My girlfriend is a scream.
My girlfriend is a scream. She never makes a scene. Talk about feeling a connection, so much electricity. My girlfriend is a scream. She never makes a scene. Talk about feeling a connection, so much electricity.
Welcome to the PRFFP, the podcast showcasing the films and the directors of the Party Room Film Festival. This week's guest directed My Girlfriend is a Screen. Please welcome Levi.
Hey, woo! Thanks for having me. This is gonna be a blast.
Dude, welcome to the podcast. This is your debut year in the festival, debut on the podcast.
Yeah, it's thanks for having me here. I think I said this in my show notes. I was like, I'm just happy to be here, and that's still how I feel because I am super lucky to get to be part of this not just the podcast, but that too. But I'm super lucky to get to be part of the film festival. It's also a pretty prestigious thing. I mean, I have been hearing stories all about the festival. I mean, the second year I was gonna feel a little left out if I didn't get invited. But who is that? Oh wait, that was you. You that golden ticket. So anyway,
I literally paid for you. I paid your way to come to the festival that night. Just saying.
You paid for a lot of other things in that film festival too.
How are you going to take their side? You know what? We're not doing this right now.
Everyone knows that when you're on Jacob's podcast, you make it terrible for him. So I'm just here to follow suit. We were being nice before the podcast started, and I was just like, "Oh, you're really cool and stuff." But no, playtime's over. It's time to it's time to get mashed.
And this, my dear children, is why the podcast is retiring this year.
We'll have a new person. It's okay. Then they can get smashed.
Yeah, I was about to say, who wants to sign up to be the punching bag for 14 other people?
Yeah. You're doing a great job.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right. Well, the first question, I didn't write it down, but what was the feeling with this year being your debut? Was there any extra pressure that you felt? What did you think about that?
Maybe a little bit of pressure, but honestly, I was just excited. I mean, I've kind of caught the vibe of the festival, which is just to make something. It's kind of that simple. And so it didn't really feel like there was a whole lot of pressure. Although getting down to the deadline and stuff, I started to feel a little bit more like I really need to get this in on time because I really just wanted to have I wanted to have no negative votes, but that didn't happen, obviously.
Mhm.
But other than that, like, no, just excitement.
Well, you definitely entered the festival on an interesting year. In previous years, we had been given our categories, but
Mhm.
right out of the gate, you were able to choose your own category.
Yeah.
What was that like for you and Cody?
Well, here's what it was like. I messaged him, like, as soon as Andrew or maybe he messaged me, I'm not sure. But as soon as Andrew was like, "Okay, you guys need to pick a thing,"
Mhm.
and we tossed around a couple things and then didn't talk about it for a month, and then, like, the day before we had to have it submitted, Cody messaged me, was like, "So, are we good with screens?" Because I think there was a couple other options, but screens was the only one that sounded, like, interesting, and that was like, we didn't even talk about what screens would mean. We were just like, just the word
Mhm.
screens. I'm trying to remember what I had in my head when I thought of screens. I was like, "Oh, maybe some kind of, like, I don't know, teleporting into screens or, like, in, like, Screenception or something like that,"
Mhm.
but no, I thought it was fine. I think it'd be just as interesting to have, uh, like, a category picked for us, but I don't feel like that was the defining thing, um, that, like, makes the festival or whatever, so but
Mhm.
yep.
So, getting to come up with your own category, y'all eventually came up with screens. Tell me a little bit about initial reactions to your actors, the prop, and the line.
Well, the
Tread
prop
lightly.
yeah, yeah. The prop, honestly, was I don't know. I've been kind of interested to see if you could find it because it is not that easy to find in my film. I mean,
Mhm.
I made sure that there was, like, if anybody asked, they were like, oh, I was like, "Oh, yeah," like, I had a little thing, like, a little call out to it, like, it
Yeah.
was it was noticeable, but it's, like, barely noticeable
Mm.
because even the line, like, I mean, I'm sure you noticed, like, my line just feels
Yeah.
way, like, way out of pocket, and
Mhm.
so I
Mhm.
definitely, like, ran with the idea of the film more than, like, trying to incorporate those things super well, which is something that I actually wanna improve on next year. Although, I gotta say, like, a Nickelback CD, I haven't heard any reports of someone being like, "Oh, that was, like, such a unique challenge and really made my film excellent." Like, it was just annoying, and I'm gonna call that out for the line too. Even though I really like Josiah, I heard that he made that line, so or submitted that line. So, as far as the actor, like, that was the worst. I remember getting the actor assignment. I was like, "How am I supposed to work under these conditions?" So, my solution, I don't know if you noticed, but my solution was to put him in for, like, 5 seconds of the film and use basically no footage of him, and then not even to credit him. Um, I was just like, "Nobody deserves to" they should be able to finish the film and be like, "I can't remember who the actor was in my film." So, if I accomplish that, that's what I wanted. All jokes aside, like, I can't believe that I forgot to put you in the credits. I was just like, "Did I really not?" I even put my
No, no,
roommate who's in there for
I'm in
less.
the credits. I'm in the credits.
Oh, you are?
I'm just not on the poster.
Poster, and that's what it was. Yeah, sorry about that. So, I don't know how that happened, but and I was planning to use more of the stuff that you sent me because I think I cut, like, a little bit out. But here's what really happened.
Mhm.
I was completely low on time, and, like, you had you sent it in to me, like, less than a week before it was due, and I just wasn't able to, like, get any more than that to, like, fit it in. So what I would have liked to do is I would have liked to have you, like, do, like, a lot more harmonies and basically be, like, a lot more involved in, like, the music production and, like, singing stuff. So
Mhm.
you would have been, like, maybe, I don't know, popping up in other places and stuff, but, unfortunately, I shafted you, and that's what you got. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry about
I'd like to, share my perspective on
Oh,
it,
please
and
do.
it's not that far off, but I feel like I made myself available to you saying, "Hey, man, what do you need?
Oh,
What do
you
you what do
absolutely
you
did,
need?"
all the time.
And then, like, 2 days before the deadline of "Now you're late," is when Levi sent me videos saying, "Alright, I need you to just do this, ah," and, like, then
Mm,
a lower part or something like that.
yeah.
And so I got those back to you, and then 25 days later, you turned it in.
I know. That's the worst part about it, is, like, I didn't even, like, do you the service of turning it in on time. I waited another freaking month. Oh my gosh. So, yeah,
Alright,
no,
well,
let it be known that this was absolutely my fault. This was not Jacob was very available. He messaged me constantly, I'll be honest, I was getting a little bit annoyed. I was just like, "Listen, I know it's gonna be late, okay? I just need to do this on my own time."
Well, I think everybody is glad that you did it on your own time because it was an instant PRFF classic.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
absolutely. But did you feel like you had to make a music video because you're the music guy in the group? What was your
So, really, I only had 2 ideas. The second one was my girlfriend as a screen. So the first one, I had, like, a little Lego character, and I was gonna try and do, like, a stop motion kind of thing. Use my, iMac, like, my iMac screen to create different backgrounds, and so
Mhm,
I would have I don't know, I hadn't even thought about doing music yet. Maybe there would have been music, who knows? But I was gonna use my desktop to create these, like, different backgrounds for the Lego character to, like, move through and tell a story that way, and then I even had, like, the Lego characters, like, the minifig sitting on my iPad so that he was, like, like, in the
mhm.
on this terrain as well as, like, set against the backdrop of terrain. It
Yeah.
ended up just, like ended up abandoning the idea because there was just no way to make it look like I wasn't filming a minifig sitting on an iPad in front of an IMAX screen. I was like, "This just ruins the movie magic." So I was like, "Okay, gotta get rid of this." And then I started thinking, I was like, What could I do that, like" I think I just kept on brainstorming. Eventually, I was like, "You know what? I could definitely do" because I did wanna make a splash, like, I wanted it to be something special. And I
Mhm,
was like, everybody else in the group is very, like, video heavy, which is great, but I think I could totally, like, do something awesome if I did a music thing, and that just makes sense because I will totally be able to
mhm,
rock that, so why not start with the music and then see what happens from there? And so, yeah, that came before the idea of, like, the girlfriend part, but I was like, "Okay, I wanna do a music video, so what do I do?" And then I just kept on, like, thinking and eventually generated the idea of like, okay, and I'm also working in social media right now and then seeing the trends. I mean, I've posted in the group chat several times, just like this
mhm.
is literally happening. Like people are making screens their girlfriends, and it's like terrifying. So it's just like, oh, and I also this is like a cool thing for me to reflect on as I've like watched the video again and again. I also made it sort of as like a reminder to myself because I've been like becoming addicted to screens ever since I've been in
Mm,
social media. And so I'm like, obviously, like, don't want that to be who I am. Like, I don't want to be somebody who's like never present with others and can't enjoy a moment. And so I was like, I'm gonna like do this as like a critique of myself too.
mhm,
And so I was like, literally right now in my job, like I'm treating the screens like they're my significant other. And so, like, that combined with this, like, "Okay, here's what's gonna happen in the future," just kind of thinking about those 2 things together, I was like, "Oh, this is actually kind of, like it could be really funny too." Like, let's do, like, My Girlfriend's a Screen about this dude who doesn't have a love life and turns to screens. So, yeah, that's how it came about.
So there's the idea, but tell me a little bit about the timeline for actual production. The question says, when did you write your script? But when did you write your lyrics? And then shooting and editing, just a general timeline.
Yeah, generally, I came up with the idea probably, like, a month-ish before the deadline, so I had the idea, like, pretty soon. But then I wanted to get this song, like, really perfect, and so I took, like, 3 of the 4 weeks before the deadline to, like, mash that out and really work on it. And I was happy with that, but then I started filming a couple scenes and just kind of got overwhelmed with, like, how many ideas I had for that, and so I just
Mhm,
stopped doing it, and I was like, "I know I need to keep on working on this, but I just can't figure out." It was a little bit of, like, inertia, honestly, like, I just couldn't get started again. So I had, like, a third of the stuff filmed, like, a couple days
mhm.
before the deadline, and then I didn't do the other 2/3 of it until, like, one night, 25 days later, and then I just finished that all in one fell swoop. I'm pretty sure that was, like, the day before, like, the real deadline, like, if you don't get this in, like, it's not going up, so
Mhm,
unfortunately, it took me another real deadline to it took
mhm.
threatening me to get it in on time, so,
Yeah.
but yeah, all my editing happened and the second bout of filming all happened really fast, like 48 hours or something, um It was just in 2 big chunks, except for the song. I worked on the song for a while, like, at the very beginning.
Because your film is so unique, do you have to have the song finished before you can start filming, basically?
Basically, I mean, I haven't actually, like, broken it down quite that detailed, but is to know if there are shots that I could have done without the music, but I really don't think there are hardly any, because almost all of them, if not all of them, have shots of me in it, either interacting with the lyrics or music or, like, mouthing the lyrics. So I needed to know exactly what the lyrics were gonna be before I could actually film it. So, yeah, I did in my mind, that was always the case. I always needed to have that song done before I could finish filming. Maybe not, like, detail work, but, like, all of the bones needed to be there before I could film.
Mhm. Getting into your actual film, what is the significance of behind the year 2032? Also, why lie about your age?
That is one of the greatest questions that has one of the most underwhelming answers. For some reason, I thought it would be funny to have the lyrics say 32 twice in a row, and that's the simplest answer I can give you, and I don't know why I thought that would be funny. Every time that I, like, listened to it over and over again, I was like, "This is not funny. I don't know why I have this as my very opening line." And so for everybody who has been confused about pretending I'm 32 in 2032, for some reason, I just thought it would be funny to say 32 twice. So, sorry if that's a letdown, but that is it. That is all I have for you.
But, like, so not 34, that's not funny. 37, not quite. 32, bingo.
I needed it to be, like, a little bit removed from, like, present day, so I pushed
Yeah.
it forward, like, 10 years, and then I was like, "Well, I don't wanna tell people," like, it would just be lame if I was like, "In the year 2032, I was, like,
15.
15." Well, that wouldn't even be true because I wouldn't be 15, but
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm just gonna say 32 because I just said 32, and who doesn't like hearing the same thing twice? Just tickles the eardrums."
Tell me a little bit about who helped you film this because I know we have some tripod shots, we have cameraman for sure. And also, I want to hear you have a 360 shot at some point. So tell me a little bit about all that camera work.
So, Trevor was the only other videographer. He was the one who carried the camera outside, when I was exiting the door. He happened to be over at Paul's house. Pretty sure he was editing his film at the time, before the final deadline. And so I was like, "Hey, you wanna help me, film the final scene of my film?" And he was like, "Sure." So, he helped me out with that, and all the other ones, I just blocked off and kept it on a tripod. Um, so this is actually my favorite part of my favorite shot of the film for sure.
Mhm.
The 360 shot is so interesting to me. So I wanted to start with that because I don't know, that visual just popped into my head, like, pretty early on. I was like, "I wanna get, like, a spinning shot," just like almost like a slow romance, like spinning around a couple dancing and just this, like so I wanted it to be slow, I didn't want it to be fast,
Mhm.
so I was like, "How can I do this?" So, here's the first part that is awesome. So I taped my phone to my ceiling fan, which, people have done before, it's not crazy.
Mhm.
When I first taped it to it, it would just swing back and forth, and so I stabilized it by taping 2 pieces of tape to the side of the phone because it's in, like, landscape, right? So I
Mhm.
tie a piece of tape or I put a piece of tape on each side and attach it to the 2, um, blades on either side, but it's
Mhm.
still, like, kind of jumpy, and so I stick another piece of tape to the back of the phone and then just let the duct tape roll hang there so it's like a weight to hold the phone down. So now I have, like, a tri-stabilized phone, and so I'm like, "Great, this will be awesome. I will see if I can just 'cause, I'll see if I can turn the fan on." So I turn the fan on, and even on the lowest setting, it is way too fast. Like, it is going like, "Shoo, shoo, shoo, shoo," and I'm like, "This is not." I mean, 1, like, I can't you just can't see anything with it. So then I
Mhm.
tried to spin it, and that doesn't work because it's, like, heavy on one side, and so it, like, is it's not a smooth rotation, so I need a motor to, like, smooth that out. So here was my solution. So I have to have the song playing, right? Which I do, and the song is playing in the background, but if the fan rotation is too fast, you're not gonna be able to see anything. So here was my solution. I played this song at twice the speed, let the fan run as it normally would on the lowest, speed, still too fast, but the lowest speed, and then
Mhm.
I sang the song at 2x speed, and then in the edit, slowed it down to half speed, so it was slow-mo, and then the song would be at regular speed. It
Jeez,
was
man.
I, like, was putting all the puzzle pieces together, and I was like, "This is gonna be awesome," and it worked perfectly.
That's a
Like,
great
yeah, it's, like, so fun, and I, like, achieved exactly what I wanted to, but, like, during the actual, like, filming, I was like, "In the year 2032, I feel" and I was, like, going super fast because the song was freaking fast. Anyway, so that's how I got that one.
amazing. So clearly a Blade Runner joke. Why?
Well, actually, that's a good thought. I didn't even think so that is, like, Ana de Armas from, like, her role in Blade Runner, but
Mhm.
really the reason that I had her is because I just think she's a total babe, and it's like, if I could have a girlfriend on the screen, that's the avatar I would pick because she is absolutely a dime. She's incredible. I mean, have you looked at her face? It's like I can't breathe when I look at her. Sheesh.
I'm a married man, Levi. I can't.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I can say that.
You say it so, like, with conviction too. You're
Dude,
like, "No, I'm right about
there
this."
are 2 women that, like, take my breath away, like, literally. It's Ana de Armas and Gal Gadot, and let's be honest, who could ever get with Gal Gadot? Because she's a freaking supermodel. I mean, I'm not saying I could get with Ana de Armas, but, like, out of the 2, Ana de Armas is more realistic.
She is a little bit more within reach than
Yeah. So, Anna, if you're listening, I would totally, like, go to a nice lunch date with you at Olive Garden, and I would buy you anything that you want. Like, so many breadsticks. I don't know if you eat bread, but I would get you so many breadsticks. And soup and salad and, the whole thing.
Oh, no. Alright, guys, we need to help Levi meet his future wife. Whenever you hear this, make sure that you tweet her and get a date for Levi.
I don't actually know if she's married or not or in a relationship, but honestly, I don't care. Like, she is so worth it that I will ruin whatever relationship that she's in to be with her. So, that's on true love.
Levi is a homewrecker is what we just learned.
If I need to be, I will.
Your friends believe that you're losing all your marbles.
Yeah.
Is that a friend, a roommate, cousin? Who's that?
That's my roommate, actually. So, I was like, "Hey, do you wanna be in this film for, like, a film festival that nobody will ever see?"
Mhm.
And he was like, "Yeah, sure."
What
So,
what were what was his thoughts on the festival?
he actually almost came, because I invited him as my plus one, which is a little sad, but he, wasn't able to make it, so but he knows Paul as well because obviously Paul is our next door neighbor, and, I think he knew Trevor at the time too, so but he just wasn't able to make it. But I showed him the film afterwards, and he thought it was hilarious, and yeah, so I thought he did a good job for the part.
When her speech has been growing rather garbled,
Mhm.
is this a specific like, is this a video that you created with,
It
like,
is.
eyes and all that? And then right after that, is there just a video of a strobe light, whenever you kill her?
Yeah, so this was a fun one. So whenever I'm pretty sure I just downloaded, like, glitch effects. No, I
Mhm,
think what I did is I used this is sad, but I used Canva, which is, like, the free graphic making thing online, to,
mhm.
like, apply filters to that picture of Anna, and then just, like, put them in a collage and then just like stuck them all together so they all played really fast. So that was how I made the video. And then I, again, from Canva, pulled these like ugly, like weird looking cartoon eyes
Mhm.
on her face whenever she was like dead or whatever. But yes, so you're actually exactly right. So I looked up a YouTube video that was just a flashing white light, and then like you kind of like, but I didn't want it to go the whole time, so I had to press play whenever the music was coming that I was going to film to, and then stop it like as soon as I wanted it to stop. So I had to film that a couple times because it just looked too obvious, like I was like pausing a video. So I tried to
Yeah.
make it like really like subtle, but I think you can still kind of tell if you look close.
No, it's subtle. It's just that I'm really good at my job, you know?
Except,
Look, hey, man. Hey.
listen, I need you to, as soon as we're done here, you need to go here. It's a
All right.
you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You have a lot of very specific camera shots.
I sure do.
And I just have, like, I don't know how to, because it's an audio podcast, so I'm not sure if it will translate to them. Whenever her voice is growing garbled, she's about to be killed. You have a specific shot where you are looking up over your shoulder. So like the camera is up on the roof and you're talking to the camera there.
Yeah.
And then you have another one where it's like way up above you in front, around 133. Like, why not just a straight shot for that? Like, tell me your reasoning for those camera shots.
So I'm sure you're aware the whole thing is pretty much filmed inside my duplex. So there's not a whole lot of variety in here. Everything sort of looks the same. The floors are ugly, the couch ugly, my room pretty messy, pretty unkempt, if you will. And it's just like that was a throwback to PRFF2. You don't remember that?
Yeah, yes, I got it.
All right. You just looked like you didn't get it. That's all. Anyway, as I was saying, unkempt, the whole thing is just like not interesting. And so I was like, what can I do to make this interesting? And that was like one of my only solutions is I was like, I need to be here. I still need to be here. Like, I'm just going to change what it looks like. And I was just going for goofy stuff. I was like whipping my head around to make it look a little bit more silly and just being more dramatic than it was like campy. Like I just needed it to be way over the top because there was honestly like no other way to keep people engaged at that point.
And then you have another very specific shot. It's around 1:50 in. You're laying on your back, and it looks very Bo Burnham-y from inside. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Tell me about that one because it looks really good.
Thank you. I was hoping you would say that because I feel like that gets me some points towards the beauty of PRFF because I look at that video and like my favorite my favorite shot as far as like preparing it was the 360 one. That was a lot of fun to make and it's just like there's a fun story there. But the one that I think is actually just like every time I look at it, I'm just like, how did that turn out so well? Is the one that you're talking about, the one it's still sitting on the ceiling fan, so another ceiling fan shot. But I just like kind of guessed where everything would look, and it just like lays out really nice. So again, just looking for variety, like somebody who's like just in a mess, just in a heap of emotions might look. So I just kind of I think I like intentionally tore my room apart. Some of the stuff actually I'm pretty sure there's some stuff on the floor that was like extension cords or lights or whatever. A bunch of that stuff I was using in my room to like light whatever I was doing and mimic daylight or sunrise or whatever. So a lot of the stuff on the floor is just stuff that I'd been using throughout the whole film shoot.
And now, a brief word from our sponsors.
So what does voting for Trevor mean? It means that you voted for Trevor. Why should you vote Trevor? Because why not? Think about how many Trevors aren't currently on the council and how many would be if you voted for me. Can we really stand to not have Trevor on the council for one more year? Think about what's at stake. Not a whole lot, but still I'd like to be there. You might be asking yourself, what'll change if I vote for Trevor? And I'll tell you that I'll be on the council. That will be the main change.
If you vote for Trevor, the average height of the council will be improved dramatically. Voting for Trevor also means that the average handsomeness of the council increases. You should vote for Trevor because he is trustworthy and honorable.
This is Dr. Trevor Smith, and I approve this message.
Also, shout out to public libraries because they're lit. You need to go to your public library. You can edit that out if you want. I don't know why I said that, but like I had checked out this book from the library, and so I just had it, and I was like, well, it's another piece of random something that I can throw in there. So,
It's nerd memorabilia. It counts for something.
yeah.
All right. So whenever we get to I purchased Apple Care Max Plus Pro. Is that a real thing? I'm not a big.
It's actually so feasible but like just over the top. But like that's kind of what the joke was. Is like it's literally getting so impossible to tell like which one is the best. You're like, is Max Pro Plus like the best one or Max Pro? And now we have Ultra, with the new Mac Studios and stuff. It's a new computer chip, and I was like, why don't I just string these together? Just long enough that it's ridiculous, but just short enough that you're like, wait. Have I just not heard of this one yet?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not much of a like Apple person, or I don't know, I guess a technology person. And I mean, like just corporate elitism trigger words that's just like Max Plus Pro.
Apple in particular is terrible about it. That you just have no idea like what it means anymore. Actually, maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't know what it means because I'm not an aficionado. But like, which is kind of funny because in the film I'm saying I love Apple. But which I do like Apple stuff, but like I just think they're a little bit ridiculous sometimes.
But speaking of that line, is there a low like metal growl harmony? It's like purchased Apple Care Max Plus Pro. Like
there is. It was not supposed to be so guttural and scary, but it just kind of turned out that way. I was like, I don't have time to re-record this. I need to get this in. But it was supposed to be like this booming, like God is telling you, like, like this big moment where it's like I purchased, like I realized, oh, my girlfriend's not gone, but it just turned out to be this weird, like scary thing. Or so like I think a demon is trying to sell me Apple Care right now. So didn't translate, but I'm glad you took the time to call that out because that was a little bit off.
Well, I mean, I like it because it like kind of comes out of nowhere and like I don't know, it just adds a little bit of variety to it.
Yeah,
for all the metalheads in the chat, just all right. And so right there, you get out of bed and you stand up, and there is a Lakitu in the back. Now, I think that your use of the Lakitu is very genius. For the nerds who don't know, it's the turtle in the cloud, because obviously it goes with my girlfriend is in the cloud, but it also helps the viewers pay more attention to this shot because that's where the Nickelback CD really
there we
is.
go. He found it.
Now tell me, is that really a Nickelback CD?
Absolutely not. I just grabbed a spare CD and Sharpied on it, Nickelback CD.
I also think Lakitu is good because, it's an omen of foreshadowing, the pain that you will go through at the end of the song. Because when Lakitu drops something off for the players, it's only ever hardship. So kudos there.
Big brain.
Another reason why Lakitu was really good is because this character first appeared in Super Mario Bros. World 4-1, right? You know where I'm going with this.
I actually had that. I was going to tell you that in case you didn't know. But so I'm glad you brought it up.
And only one is ever present. And they can be defeated by a stomp for 800 points or with the fireball for 200 points. And he even disguises himself as Bowser in World 5-4. So if we take World 4-1 as 41 and add it to the one Lakitu on screen at a time, we get 42. And then 800 points minus 42 will equal 758. And you multiply that by the level 4 of World 5-4, you will get 3032. Then you multiply the 200 points from the fireball kills by the 5 from the world, from World 5-4, and you will get 1,000. Then we take 1,000 away from 3032 and get 2032, which is the year. It's genius. It all ties together.
I don't know how you figured it out, but that was it. Here's the thing. The crazy thing about that is that sounds like you almost know more about Lackadoos than I do. So,
so we've already touched on it a little bit, but do you think that you used your line well? Do you think
No.
you used your prop well?
Absolutely.
Do you think you used your actor well?
No, I failed on all 3 fronts. If I was getting a report card, like overall film, great. Maybe like a B+, maybe an A.
Yeah.
Everything else,
definitely
like Fs. Absolutely terrible. Maybe a D, just so they don't have to see me again.
like you didn't use you had like 3 jobs.
And I did none.
Or you had 4. Yours it also had to involve screens, and I think it did a better job portraying screens than Rotten Doppel. Actually, I don't think I asked Cody what his had to do with screens during his episode.
Hey, that's unfortunate.
Cody, if you're listening, put it in the chat. What did your film have to do with screens? Did you feel dumb doing that in your front yard?
Yeah, really dumb.
Anybody see it?
Trevor was watching me because there were cars passing by that were watching me. I trust Trevor. I do not trust random Wilmore residents not to like pierce my soul with their gaze.
Judging eyes.
Yeah. Because to be honest, if I was driving by a house and there was somebody doing what looked like a TikTok video of somebody dancing with Ana de Armas on a screen, I'm not gonna lie, I'd have a little bit of judge in my eyes too.
If what is true for Aaron Winiarowski is true for you, then that should be gone by next year. Next year, you won't care. You'll just care about the festival. So,
Okay. I'm glad to know that feeling passes. Hasn't yet.
I mean, you got to talk to him. I mean, last year he was scared being in the woods. He tried to hide. This year, he just covered himself in fake blood and was on a public road next to a Taco Bell. So,
yeah,
who knows?
That's quite the
that's character growth.
That's quite the arc.
We finally wake up for the last time. Were you struck by lightning? How were you electrocuted?
Oh, I was struck by lightning. Which is, kind of odd because it's not raining. It doesn't even look cloudy, but lightning just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So particularly when it's a helpful plot device.
My first time watching through, I thought maybe you got electrocuted by like using too many extension cords. That's not OSHA approved.
That's an intelligent assumption.
But then I realized that your phone cord actually becomes unplugged whenever you go talk about.
That was not supposed to happen, and I was like, I'm just not going to shoot it again. So I even knew it happened. I was like, we're just going to fly with that. But that is a blooper. So
you were too embarrassed to do a take 2.
I couldn't do it. I was like, this. I've had enough.
I understand, man. I definitely understand. And then, of course, we wake up. We're a little sad. We get out of the bed.
Yeah, we do.
Is this the reference to American Unsightly?
No, I wasn't thinking about American Unsightly at all.
Oh, you were just like, I need to blur my nipples.
There were 2 reasons for that.
Go for it.
One was invalid because I'm pretty sure my nipples have already been on the internet, which that I'm not gonna elaborate. But so I was like,
scavenger hunt for the chat. Whoever can find Levi's nipples first.
So I was like, oh, I don't want. Well, yeah. So I was thinking, I don't want my nipples on the internet again. And then the other reason was, I think it would be hilarious. Like, this was actually why I thought of it was because I was like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm scared to invoke another Mitchell Judy rule, and so I'm just gonna, go ahead and blur that out. And I don't know, it just it worked out. The joke really hit. So that was just kind of a lucky one.
That's all of the questions I have for your video. Do you mind spending some time and playing a mini game with me?
Oh, let's do it. I've been
Window.
trying to think if I should do like a Trevor and Paul thing where I just say that I win all the time and then like ask you incessant questions about like.
I'm
But
not going to tell
yeah.
you how to play. I'm not going to tell you how to play the game, but don't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. It was hysterical, but I don't think I could beat them. That's why I'm not gonna do it. So
Yeah, love them to death, but good golly, man, that took hours off my life. All right, Levi, you know how it works. I'm
sure.
going to ask you who would win in a fight. You can elaborate. You can ask questions. You can do whatever you want. I will match your pace. But for now, Levi, who would win in a fight, you or Benny the Bull?
Oh, that picture of me, bro, you're dirty.
It's not the one with your nipples. What are you upset about?
Yeah, true enough. Benny the Bull.
Mascot for the
Oh.
Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, Benny the Bull is actually gonna do a number on me. Not the least of which, probably mostly because he's 375 pounds, and that's a lot. So
It
he
is.
could just like land on, especially if he can do flips, he can just fly, flip, and land on me. And then like if he lands his like rear end on my face, like I'm just squished. Also, he has like tactical flares. Like I'm not gonna be able to see anything. He's gonna be like a freaking like dive bomber and just like send smoke in the air. No, I'm done. I can't.
Who would win in a fight, you or Aladdin?
Dang. I'm not trying to go 1v1 versus Aladdin because I think he's like pretty cool. He's good with the ladies. Like I'd like to like ask him some tips and stuff. It's pretty simple. All you do is you get Abu and then you hold him at knife point until Aladdin like agrees to
God.
sacrifice himself for
Oh my
Abu. And then I let Abu go because I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice bad guy. I don't actually like kill Abu in front of Aladdin's eyes. That'd be horrible. But I let Abu go, like right as Aladdin stabs himself, a la Aaron Winterowski in The Rotten Roommate. So, but yeah, I require it from Aladdin. He has too many friends, too many. Well, he only has one friend, but that's too many because I'm just gonna milk that.
Levi, who would win in a fight, you or John Cena?
I hate John Cena so much.
That's
But
good.
he'd probably beat me. I mean, oh, he's Devin Bowden's favorite wrestler? Well, I'd have to let him beat me then. Like, even if I could try to take him, like, I can't let down Debo. Like, he would hate me for the rest of my life. And there's nothing worse than Debo hating you for the rest of your life.
Debo found out that I don't like John Cena either. And every time he saw me for like 5 months, he was just like, "Hey man, so what do you think about John Cena?"
Oh no.
He's just constant. And so now I'm gonna let him know that you don't like him.
Oh no. I like Debo. You don't have to do that to me. Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Here's what I don't like. Actually, this is not important or relevant.
Go for it.
John Cena is a terrible actor, and he's one of those wrestlers that has tried to make it as an actor, and he's not doing well. He needs to stay in his lane.
Yep. They consider themselves actors because of the sports entertainment industry, but that does not mean that they are good at acting.
That is correct.
Just, yep. I remember he doesn't he like play Vin Diesel's brother in the new Fast and Furious movie?
Oh, I think you're right because I know
His evil brother.
Somebody else's too that I don't like. This is not that important who I like and don't like. We should move on.
Well, it's a podcast. None of it's ever important. They just have us on while they're driving to work or while they're working.
Fair enough. I hope you have
That's right.
Work today.
That's right, Andrew King. Get back to work. I know you're at work while you're listening to this, scumbag. Anyone you want to call out?
No, who did I call out? I already called out somebody. I don't need to call out anymore.
Levi, who would win, you or Daniel from Daniel's in the Lion's Den?
Well, if I was a lion, I definitely wouldn't win because he kind of has superpowers over those guys.
Mm-hmm.
The decidedly minimal stat sheet, height and weight unknown, maybe like normal. Can talk with lions, maybe.
Yep.
Sorry, bro, but like, unless we're stuck in a pit and I can't see you and you have time to like pray that God would shut my mouth, like gonna tear you to pieces. Not with my mouth, but like with my hands. Like I'm gonna rip you limb from limb.
Levi versus Jackie Robinson.
I feel like this is a test. Is this a test? This is a test, isn't it? He would beat me because he has a baseball bat. I'm not falling for your trap. I respect Jackie Robinson. I respect what he's done for America and the world and the cosmos. So there's not a bone in my body that would resist getting on my knees to let him just whack me in the head.
Good answer.
Thanks. I knew what the right answer was.
Levi versus Machamp or Machamp, I'm not sure.
That thing looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Strong. Yeah. 287 pounds. He's 5 foot. That dude has to be jacked. Look at those muscles. Especially compared to my sad little rat face. That thing is going to take me.
Machamp takes it.
Yeah.
All right. Levi versus Mater.
Bro, I just watched Cars the other day, and I cannot tell you how much I despise Mater. Like,
wow.
I know. Like, I'm like, everybody loves Mater, but I cannot stand Mater.
Well, this is a grudge match that you want to happen.
Yes. Yeah, I'll
okay,
take
how do you think it would go?
Here's the thing. I am not 2,000 pounds. I can drive backwards. Actually, we're kind of competing at an equal level as far as the teeth go. but I feel like I'd have to strategize, but I just feel like he's dumb enough that I'd be able to outsmart him. Like maybe I would just hide in a field and wait until he tries to like tractor tip, and then I don't know. I can't think of anything funny or witty, but I just feel like I could get him, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to be witty. I think you could take him. He's an idiot. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do you ever think
Flashes
about, like, what happens whenever like a human gets inside a car? Like, are we allowed to think about that? Because like I could just hop inside Mater and be like, I'm gonna drive you off a cliff. So what do you have to say to that? He can't do anything. Like, I have the controls.
Well, so if you were to believe certain Disney theories, Mater, all of the cars are actually evolved insects. So after nuclear fallout has happened and only insects are there to roam the earth, the insects with their exoskeletons begin absorbing the metal around them. For example, all of the car parts and everything. So I don't think you can get in Mater because there is a skeleton and a brain, albeit a small brain, but there are organs inside of him.
That would be so nasty. Like open the door and there's like guts everywhere.
Yeah.
Cars 5, Return of the Zombie-fied automobiles. Gross. Oh, I don't know then. I'm sure I could just find some spike strips and like, you know, put him on roads and stuff. I'm gonna say I take him, but I have no idea how.
I think you got it. I believe in you.
Thanks, dude.
All right. A rematch in the Man versus Machine. How about you versus QWERTY from VeggieTales?
Oh, I mean, he's just an old screen. I could just like a quick little punch and he's out. I have lots of fond childhood memories about QWERTY though. Like, if I'm trying to be QWERTY, I could, but like, I don't want to. You put so many people up against like people that they would never fight because they just wouldn't want to. But yeah, I could crush QWERTY. He can't even move. Like, I could just do a little curb stomp and he'd be fried.
Yeah, he can like shake his head and stuff like that.
Oh, that is true. He is sentient. Oh, what if he went full like Ultron on me and like downloaded himself into the internet and like I don't want to think about that.
This is artificial intelligence.
I go for the network cable first, obviously. Cut the cord. Cut the cord.
because
Well done.
because this probably doesn't have connection to Wi-Fi. So I mean, you're probably
True, it
good call.
definitely doesn't. So before Cordy can say anything, before Cordy can even think, before he can do his little, I just pull the network cord.
Oh, we're just gonna sit in silence and let that little sound effect linger a little bit longer.
You should play it like 3 times in a row, like.
All right, so you take that one.
Oh yeah, I'll crush him.
All right, Levi, how about you versus Sam the Eagle?
Stern, strict, prestigious, mature, manners, etiquette. I mean, if I was at a dinner party, like he might scold me to death, but no, he's a puppet, right? He's a little,
He's a Muppet.
yeah. No, there's no way that all you have to do is bring like a little, like a lighter or something and just set him on fire. Like, what's he supposed to do? Stop, drop, and roll? I've never seen a Muppet stop, drop, and roll. Never. Like, he would just do the thing that all Muppets do and like jump up and down and like he's like, "Oh, I'm fire!" And then you're just fanning the flames and I win.
I think one of my favorite things about this mini game that I've created is I get to hear just really dark things from people that I wouldn't expect it from.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got more where that's coming from.
Levi, you versus Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Bite attack. 40 miles an hour? That is
He's a
cheetah fast.
he's a Great Dane.
Wow.
It makes you think about like all the times everybody is running with Scooby. Like Shaggy can run 40 miles an hour.
I didn't think about that. That's a good point. How does he do that? Okay. I will say that I would lose if Scooby-Doo was properly motivated. Like, if I took all of his Scooby snack, no, even then he was still wouldn't attack. There's got to be, maybe I killed Shaggy. I killed Shaggy, and Scooby-Doo is like, I have no reason for being alive, so I'm gonna. If that's his villain origin story, sure, he could take me. But like Scooby-Doo is a little goofy Doo, and I don't think that he would have anything that he would want to do to me. Like he would just be like, sure, he has a bite attack. He can go 40 miles an hour, but would he? No, not unless properly motivated. I'm gonna stomp on his toes, and then he won't run, and then I'm gonna slap his face so he's discombobulated like a Sherlock Holmes movie, and then I'm gonna like choke him by his collar. He's done. Decapitate him. I'd take a knife. He's just straight off.
Oh my god. I've unleashed something and I'm not sure I'm proud of it.
Yeah, I really actually wouldn't have said that if you hadn't, said that you were so excited to learn people's deep dark side. So you did bring that out.
Levi, you versus a shark.
I'm dead.
Okay. Levi, you versus Steve from Minecraft.
Ooh, can lift 21 billion pounds? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
How is he 300 pounds? He is fit for a 300 guy. Ooh. This is a great question.
So to give you a little bit of insight on why he can lift that much is like, so he can lift a gold block.
Mm-hmm.
And he can lift things that are made from gold blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And he can lift stacks of things
Mm.
that are made of gold blocks. And then you stick those stacks into this box, and he can carry like 31 of those boxes.
Okay.
So logically, he can lift 21.7 billion pounds.
Holy moly. I think there's a chance that we could reach a stalemate, like a draw, if we both spawned into the world at the same time. But even then, like his punches, I mean, if that man can lift 21 billion pounds, there's no way that those, like, that he doesn't have, like, beef there.
He breaks trees with his bare hands.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pull back from that. I don't even think if we spawn together in a new world, I don't think I could beat him. Steve, I'll give it to you.
Actually, I've never thought about it this way because we always think about like punching trees, but each of the blocks in Minecraft is a meter by a meter.
Hmm.
So that means he is punching a tree that is like 4 feet thick and breaking it.
Wow. That's some power.
So you don't think you can take that?
No, especially not rat face Levi. He's just joking around.
Levi, you versus Terry Crews.
Oh my gosh. He is a scary guy. My roommate
He's-
watches Brooklyn Nine-Nine a lot, and like he's super goofy in that, but like the dude is shredded, obviously.
And he has looked the same since my first exposure to Terry Crews was Everybody Hates Chris. And he looks the exact same that he did back on that
Really?
show.
Oh my gosh.
He does not age.
I'm not gonna try to create a creative scenario for this one. I'm toast. Terry Crews is gonna send me on a cruise with his muscles.
You versus Wendy from Wendy's.
23? I'm not gonna fight her. I'm gonna see if she's single. She's like kind of a babe. I didn't know she was 23. Is that real?
She was born or created in the 2000s. So
Okay.
we're learning a lot about Levi this
On the
episode.
off chance that she is like all smiles up front and like a serial killer behind all of it, she seems like the person that would actually be a horrifying villain to go up against. So on the off chance that that's the case, I think she'd just like come up with a brilliant plot to like bake me into a hamburger or something. She's probably some weird like chop humans up and like put them in the food kind of stuff.
Ooh, I like that conspiracy theory. Like all of the burgers are made from ex-boyfriends.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. It's a lot of X's though. So anyway, I'm not trying to get on her bad side if that's the case, but otherwise, no. I'm just gonna like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna like trip her or something and then like watch a car run over her or something.
All right, last one. Levi, you versus Woody Allen.
Looks like an older version of Levi.
I mean, a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah, I actually do see it. A little bit more of a cone face than he does. He's more of a rectangle.
He also looks like Mr. Fredrickson from Up.
Oh, yeah.
Ted Asner.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, who are we kidding? I can take him. I just don't want to. I'll be like, listen, old man, you're getting close to the end of your days. Let's hurry it up. And then just punch him in the glasses and then hire somebody else to kill him because I don't feel right doing it myself. I don't know why I would punch him in the glasses and then hire somebody else. Probably just hire somebody else and leave him alone.
So you would win that one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easy.
All right. Awesome. Well, that is all the opponents I have for you.
I feel like
I have
good 50-50.
I have just a few more questions if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just kidding. This has been a blast, dude.
All right. That made me genuinely nervous. All right. If time or budget wasn't an issue, what would be different?
Okay, time, nothing would be different because I would wait until the last second to get it done anyway. We've already seen that.
You got an extra 25 days.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Budget, I would have got Ana de Armas actually, and then like done video and photo shoots with her, and then put her on the iPad, so I could have had like my own photos and stuff. And here's the thing: I would have told her like, "This is all for the film." Nah, that's a lie. I would have put one of those photos on the iPad, and the rest of them I would have just like stuck around my room, and so I could like wake up to Ana de Armas every day. All appropriate, of course. I'm not trying to be weird, but like
The unlimited budget goes towards your engagement ring for her.
there it is. I didn't know that I wanted to say that, but that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, I'd still shoot on an iPhone phone, like all that stuff. Like, no, I would get Ana de Armas on set.
All right. Rate your years. I've been asking people to rate their years 1, 2, and 3. Levi, if you could rate your films for me, which one do you think was the best?
I think I'm gonna have to say that the first year was a total bust. Like, you could argue that like that was sort of my invisible film. It was so bad. Like, you just want to forget about it. So that one's terrible. And then the second year, I would argue that like my audio was just insane. Like a 9.5. Like, it was so good. But this year was pretty good, but I don't know. I felt like my collaboration was off. I just didn't really like get into the true spirit of the festival. So I'm gonna give myself like a 7.5, maybe a 7.7, because it was the first like music video in the film festival. But like, I don't know. I just felt like it was a little weak. So yeah.
You felt. Tell me a little bit about your voting criteria. Like, what boxes need to be checked in order to earn your vote?
Yeah. So this is a great question. I've enjoyed hearing everybody's answers to it. And I actually told myself I was going to like sit down and like think this out, but I didn't. And so I'm just going to kind of go off the cuff. But here's what I've been thinking. I like look at the movies that I have liked, and then I've just kind of compiled those together and broken them down into what are the common elements between those things. And the thing that I find the most is like just a really like, I think one of them is like something being funny, but then I look at like photophobia and photophoria, which I really liked, and like, sorry, Trevor and Paul, like, it's not that those weren't funny, but they weren't like the funniest of all of them. So there's Multiverses, which was easily one of my favorites this past year. And that one was because I thought it was really funny and just brilliant. I loved how all of those different scenes were incorporated into Lander's film. So good. So I do like funny, but then photophobia and photophoria, along with Kill Happy, I kind of put those in the same category. Those are just so innovative. Like, nobody else thought to like create this like double film, or like depart from like creating two alternate realities. Dude, that floored me. That was so cool. So innovation, I felt like Kill Happy was innovative, but it was also excellent. Like, it just raised the bar, which we've all been saying, but it's because it's true. So kudos to you, Zach. That was awesome. Yeah. So I think those are like the three things, like well produced, innovative, and funny. So if all three are in one, like, that's what I'm going to vote for. But if it's just 2 out of 3, like, it doesn't need to be well produced. Because like I mean, it's the Party Room Film Festival. Something is funny and something is innovative. Like, I am totally down for that. So I think it's my like simple list.
I actually can't remember off the top of my head, whose film did you act in this past year? Who were you the assigned actor for?
Oh, off the top of my head, I cannot remember either. Who was it? Landers. It was Landers' film. So I was in Multiverses, and all I did was just like text him something. That was actually me texting him, but it was just some random little thing. But I mean, but I was also in his film, just not in person or like filmed, because he used my appearance in Sweaty Gains.
Yeah,
Because he
that's
texted me and says, "Hey, you want to work out?" And I'm like, "Nah, it's a rest day." And then obviously it's not a rest day. So that was who I acted with.
Who do you want to act for next?
Probably Aaron Winiarowski. I think that would be super fun, and like, it's easily doable. I mean, Aaron's already said to me and Landers like, "Yo, we should do something together," which I think would be lit. A Room 300 film. So we'll see.
I'm already in the beginnings of making like a new charter, a new amendment, and like, we cannot let the three of y'all work together.
Dude, it would just be insane. Like, it would be so fun.
If it happens, then we just have to end and start a new film festival.
But yeah, I think I'd like to do something with Aaron. That'd be fun.
Is there a certain character or archetype you would want to play for him?
Preferably I don't get drenched with somebody else's sweat and drool this time, but other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of stipulations.
Nice. All right. Well, it's a similar question, and just because you said Aaron this past time, I'm going to say you can't say him.
Okay.
But if you could have a tag team partner to work with next year, who would you choose? You also can't say me because I feel like we've worked together a lot too.
Yeah, we have. What was that one that we did together? Meaningless. That's what it was. I like that film.
Yeah. It was a good one, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. It was everybody always wants to comment and be like, he paid for it, but it took it to the next level, so
Yeah.
I don't regret it.
I think they're honestly just like behind the curve. So I'm just kidding, everyone. I obviously think Jacob is like the worst for hiring out. Who would do that? It's like having a call center in India with, all that stuff. Like you can't do that. It's your own business. Run it. Well, you know what the
It's
best part about this is? I can just keep on talking and like as far as I know, Jacob is just gonna leave this in. I can just rag on the entire time.
probably, yeah.
Maybe not.
But
No.
but my therapist is gonna hear about that.
Oh, well, tell Jolene I said hi. Tag team partner. I've been thinking about this one a lot. I wanna and I haven't really come up with a decision yet. But here's what I want to happen. I would love to tag team with somebody that is just awesome on the script writing or cinematography part. So I feel like naturally that puts me with Paul or
Maybe Zach, probably.
maybe Zach. Although to be honest, like I didn't want to say Zach because everybody else wants to work with him. So and I would love to work on a film with Zach. I think we should all just do a big film and make it like Zach's film, and then we should all do our own films as well. I don't actually think that because that would take up too much time, but that would be sweet. But also like working with Matt Stice would be really fun because his scripts are really good, and I don't know. I think that those could be the two that I pick. But also like maybe just off the cuff, I would pick Andrew because he seems like he has like some of the most fun on set, and I love having fun like actually on the set. So I'm gonna lock that in. I'm gonna say Andrew King.
It's a good one. All right, well, that is all the questions I have. Are there any Easter eggs, fun facts, or stories from behind the scenes that we didn't cover that you want to make sure we get in there?
That is a great question. I feel like I might have had one or two things. I'm gonna scrub through the film fast, see if I can find anything. Also, those awkward pauses that you leave in are crazy. Like I feel feral when like you pause and just leave it in. It was like a 15-second pause for was it Mitch's? I don't know who it was, but dude, I was going nuts.
I think my favorite one is saying like, Cody, I have a question. Who hurt you? And then it's just silent for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I think you pretty much hit all of the shots that I either was like really like. Oh, the photo in the back. So this is in one of the shots at the end. You may not notice that there's a little photo on the wall because
Of Lucas Green and Aaron Winarowski.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Do you
Tell me about it.
know what Aaron is holding?
I believe his name is Lucas Green, but
Well, okay, he's also holding something in his left hand at Lucas's wedding, which I wasn't able to go to, which I felt really bad about.
I knew that it was like Lucas's wedding, but it eludes me. I didn't pay that much attention to the picture. No.
Yeah, no, it's not that important. It was something that I had up on the wall. So the photo is of Aaron holding a barrel of cheese puffs. Do you know why that's significant?
Go for it.
So that's significant because the two of them, it was actually Lucas's film, made a film called Addicted. Andrew King knows about this too because he was in it. And the storyline was about this man who is addicted to cheese puffs. There's an intervention, but he can't.
Oh yeah.
Tries like electrotherapy, all this stuff. So yeah, call back to Addicted, which is actually a really fun film that Lucas directed in our Asbury days. So that's what I'll call back to. That's pretty
good little one.
That's the only one. I don't think there's really anything else.
I didn't like I noticed it, but I didn't know if it was just Easter egg. I just figured you loved your friends and always had that picture there.
I haven't always had that picture there, but I told I told Lucas and Aaron that I would put it up there since I didn't really make it to the wedding, which felt bad. Oh, okay. I'm looking back at the shot where I'm lying on the floor, and you can see the tripod that I have been using to film with is
Mhm.
literally, and the light that has been my like that has I put a scrim in front of it, or just a bed sheet really. So like all of my filming equipment is like right there. It's pretty funny.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, that's everything. Oh wait, no. Okay, that's it.
All right. Well, Levi, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, this has been the PRFFP, and I'm just hanging out.
Hanging out with my family.
Hey, gang. So I just listened to the new rendition of My Girlfriend is a Screen for the first time, literally the morning that this episode is being released. And I figured we should add some sort of addendum or after credit scene so that we can hear a little bit about his process in remixing his own songs. All right, what's up, man? Do you have AirPods in?
I did.
Okay, first question. What the why is it so good? What
Dude.
was that?
I don't know. It just like so my voice might be a little raspy, but that's because I was up until like 2:30 a.m. last night. I got hit with it and I just like kept on cruising. And then I spent another like hour this morning just like editing it and adding that little ooze part at the end. I just couldn't stop. I would have spent like so much more time on it if I didn't have to go into work. It just was amazing. It was so fun.
Well, what I love about this is that, like, I approached you. I said, "Hey, what about doing like a acoustic version?" Like I said, a broken down, simple acoustic version, maybe on
I
like
know.
guitar and cajon,
Yeah.
as a cold open for the podcast, and then you break out this like poppy techno mix.
Dude, I went through so many ideas. I told you that I had like I had like a really dark version of it where it was just like like a dystopian future and stuff. Like I went through all these different ideas and I was like, man, I just need to stick with one. And so that was the one. I just found that little loop and I was like, dang, it's kind of hits. And then everything else just rolled out of that one like tiny little loop at the beginning. The little
It's so good. It's so irrationally good.
So I need to ask you a question. You need
Go.
to tell everyone how you came up with that freaking rap because that was amazing.
I was driving home from a show in Kentucky, and I knew that you were about to send me my parts for the harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
And so driving alone, so I'm just belting out songs while I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like Love the Way You Lie Part 2, and then Airplanes Part 1 and 2 came on. And it was like, really pretty piano. And then there was like rap parts to it. And they're not necessarily like aggressive rap parts. They're just rhythmic and they fit the song. And so I figured you were doing something similar of like just a piano, and it's a very pretty version. And so I was going to do like I was going to send you just for fun, like some little spoken word kind of thing. But then when you sent me my part and it was like, I was like, all right, well, I guess we're going to spaz on the track now because by the time you had sent it to me, I had 2 hours left on the road. And so I just came up with something, and I don't know, I'm really proud of it. I feel like I got some good wordplay, some good bars, some good.
It was good. Dude, the one line that always sticks with me is like what's the matter with me? That one flowed so good. So like I'm just like, what's the matter with me? Oh, so good.
What's the matter with me? Not talking on, I'm talking to the phone.
Yeah.
Because my girlfriend is it's so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna vouch for you on that one and just tell everybody that maybe you didn't like it, but I was floored when Jacob sent me that. I was just like, dude, what is this man?
Yeah, I'm really excited for everybody to be like, it was really good, except for the rap part. Like, let's just
No, they wouldn't dare. It was legitimately good. That's the thing, is like I try not to destroy you all the time, But
Mhm.
I mean, it's kind of impossible not to. Let's be real. But like that for real, like that was so good. I was like, this is so great.
Dude, I appreciate getting to be a part of it this time.
Oh, absolutely. This is making up for last time. I had to make an
Yeah.
entire production to since I didn't have you in my video hardly at all.
There we go. I mean, I don't know. I just had to yell at you that it was really good. Do you have
Dude,
anything that
thanks.
you want to throw in?
I'm trying to think if there was any interesting part of the process. It wasn't really that interesting. It just kind of all like flowed together.
Mhm.
I mean, I was literally like just moving my arms. Like I wasn't even like thinking at the end of last night. I was so tired. I was like, I have to get this done though. So yeah,
Awesome. Thank you for the new anthem of the Party
yeah, no
Room Film
problem.
Festival. The
Of
new
course,
anthem.
you know it.
Yep. Everybody make sure you go to the beginning of this video and listen. I still have to edit this. Jesus Christ. Um,
You got it. This one won't take much editing.
I hope not. I mean, I have to bleep out some stuff, but anyway, Levi, I love you. Thank you for skipping out of work so that you could talk to me
Oh,
for a few seconds.
hey,
And
no
thank you for
problem.
this new song.
Dude, of course. Great work. You as well. We owe it all to you, honestly.
Dude, we're a good team. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm down for it.
See you, buddy.
See ya.